As we're doing these inquiries, we want to be doing them from awareness. So, however that might roll out for you right now. One way to do that is to tune in as though awareness is right behind our body, and in particular, as though we're looking right from behind our head, behind our brain. So, we're right here. We're not separated from what we're looking at. We're able to really tune in to the sensations, the experience, the thoughts that are in our mind, the energy. And sometimes it helps to just shift our perspective so that we remain aware that we're doing a mindfulness practice. We're experiencing whatever we're experiencing, and we're noticing that we're experiencing it. With the living inquiries, the way we work with words and pictures and energy or sensations is to dive right in and to look from awareness, to be always remembering that this isn't something that's happening right now. If it's a memory in particular, that we might have quite vivid recollections of something. We often are triggered into some kind of an image or some words or sounds or smells, even from our past, especially as we're looking at these lingering beliefs. To really notice that these are things that were formed earlier in our life. I find it helpful also to remember that these are not weird or bad or some kind of defect in us, that we have these beliefs that form. It's just the way that it works. We have experiences and we believe different things about ourselves based on the experiences. And if we have the experience of being in a family where we're loved and connected with and seen and appreciated, we're going to have different beliefs about ourselves. And if our primary experience is one of not being appreciated, of not feeling included and protected and perhaps harmed. So there's that real continuum, that real range of experiences that we have. And every single one of us, it's the way our system works, every single one of us forms beliefs based on that. It's the same mechanism that teaches us that fire is hot. We don't have to keep putting our hand back into the fire all the time to relearn that over and over. Our brain has a real negativity bias that's meant to protect us. So if we had a bad experience, we remember that much more intently than if we've had good experiences. And we've done a lot of that work as well. We really work with trying to strengthen our attention on the positive so that we can build those neural networks. So it's not like a one or the other, we do both. And let all of those words settle in kind of a wordless way. Let's pay attention to the body for a few minutes. Really appreciating and noticing what's happening in our body, our breath, our mind. Take a few deeper breaths. And as you breathe out, let your body really relax. See if you can let go of any holding or tightness or tension, especially if you're lying down or you're laying back on a bed or a comfortable chair, so that you don't really have to hold yourself in position. You could really let go of any activation, any activity at all in your body. And as we breathe, we notice that there's this settling effect. As we breathe out, our stomach settles back towards the spine. And as we breathe in, there's a kind of a wave of breath. The stomach expands, rises. What's really happening, of course, is the diaphragm muscle is moving down. The lungs are filling with air. Stomach rises to accommodate that. Let yourself settle into that rhythm for a moment, noticing your breath and the body, what happens in your body as you breathe. And notice what's going on in your thought stream. What we're looking at today is the lingering core deficiency beliefs. So we might have done a lot of looking into this and a lot of healing around this. And still, we notice that there's something that's not quite let go of yet. That some belief that we formed when we were young is still somehow active in us, even though our conscious mind knows it's not true, even though it might not be operating as strongly as it used to. At times, it gets triggered and it comes back, and we have the opportunity to look at it again. Healing ourselves of these isn't really a linear, straight line process, it's more like a spiral. We circle back to things, and with our new capacity, our new understanding, we can have another look. So notice right now what comes into your own mind around lingering core deficiency beliefs. Some kind of a lingering sense that there's still some power. Notice what thoughts come in. Let's take a look at that for a moment. And we might notice that there are words. I'm not lovable. I'm not worthy. I'm not safe. I'm not good enough. I can't make it on my own. Whatever those words are for you, and it might be one sentence or a word, it might be a bunch. See if you can put them up like you're looking at the words. Look at them on a bulletin board in your mind's eye, or open your eyes and put them on the wall or a window across from you. And as you're paying attention, you might be hearing the sound of the words. We're looking first to see if those words put us in some kind of danger. If there's something about the words that really feels like it's true, yes, that's me. We notice that there might be other words or images in response to that, other thoughts. And we might have a response to that in our body. We're going to look at both of those. First, just look at the words, look at the shapes. Words are made up of letters, which are made up of shapes. We might be hearing a vibration of sound. Stay in touch with your body and your breath as you're looking at the words or hearing those sounds. Tapping is very effective on words. So bring your two fingers up to your forehead and start to tap. You already know now what the words are. So bring your attention away from the words and just into the sensation and the sound of the tapping on your forehead. And bring your hand down and take a look at the words again or listen to them. Notice your breath. Take a few steady, even breaths. And tune into what else is happening in your experience right now. Is it other thoughts, words, or pictures? Is it memories? What is it that's keeping this belief intact or keeping some kind of power in this belief? What's your evidence that you need to believe this or you need to pay attention to it still? What gives it its longevity? It might be other thoughts, might be sensation or energy somewhere in your body. Work with what it is that's most interesting, what's really drawing your attention right now. If it's words, images, you can tap on them, put a frame around them, and trace the outside space. We can also put space around energy. So notice the qualities of the energy or the sensation, if it's sharp or dull or moving or still. Notice that at some point there's an edge to it. Might be a sharp edge, it might just kind of disappear after a while, but it doesn't go on forever. So as you're paying attention to the sensation, also notice that there's space around the outside of it. I'm going to just rest with this. You just keep noticing, keep this awareness of your breath and body. And let your attention be drawn to whatever needs to be attended to right now. At some point, as we're working with thoughts and images, we can really see that they are just shapes or sounds, that images are colors and shapes. And then we can really pay attention to the sensation or the energy in our body. What does it know? Why is it here right now? Is there any threat? Does it make you kind of uncomfortable that it's here? Is it painful or does it feel like it should be avoided somehow? And we're looking at this from a perspective of an observer, from awareness. This is here. We have a response to it. And we're allowing it. We're welcoming it. We're really paying attention to it. What is it that's going on here right now? Many times words will come up out of a sensation or an energy, or thoughts will, images. So if we're just having a distracting thought, we don't follow those. It's just kind of an attempt to move away. But if we're having a thought that's kind of relevant to what we're looking at, It's kind of coming out of the sensation. And do look at that. Look at the words, hear them, look at the images. Use tapping or tracing if they're quite intense. And then just come back to looking and being attentive to the energy in kind of a wordless way again. What needs to be seen? What is holding that here? And notice when we harden up against something. That could be a feeling of judgment. Maybe we feel like we should have let this go by now. Maybe it's frustration or shame or loathing of ourselves. Notice what's happening inside. See if you can be okay, even if it's not going perfectly, even if there's something hanging on that you think should be gone by now. Could you have compassion for yourself? Could you be kind with yourself? Notice your body and your breath. And then take whatever set of words you started with and reverse them. So if it was, I'm not lovable, for instance, then you could work with the words, I am completely lovable. I'm absolutely lovable. Notice what that feels like in your body and notice if there's any rebuttal. This can be a way of seeing what it is that's holding you back from letting go of this belief, of the deficiency belief. So see the shapes of the letters, hear the sounds. I am lovable. And there might be some specific evidence or a memory. You could tap on it, bring the memory up into the tapping zone, your forehead, and do some tapping. Transfer your attention away from it into the sound and sensation just of the tapping. And then let's go back into the kind of wordless presence, the awareness, reminding ourselves That what is coming and going in the mind and in the body is not permanent. It might be very persistent. There might be a lot of energy with it. And that it's not how we feel all the time. It's not even what we believe all the time. That we have many experiences that help us to form our beliefs. And if we've had 95% in one direction, then we're probably going to really believe that. And so there's some part of our primitive brain, our survival system, that's still holding on just in case. See if you can ease into that. Let that be here, even as we're okay to let it go. You really can understand and experience that it's safe to not believe that anymore. Almost like we have to reassure that part of ourselves that still thinks it might be necessary to hold on. You can put your hand on your heart if you wanted. Really tune into that. Have the experience, even if it's a visualized experience. Let yourself have the experience for a few minutes of knowing that that's not true, of letting go of that belief completely, absolutely, and knowing that you're safe to do that, that you can have that feeling of the freedom from that. Let your body feel that. Might have a visual component to this, what your face would look like, what your life would be like. Stay connected in your body as you're doing that. I completely love myself without any hesitation or holding back. And then let go of even that and just sit without words. Notice your whole body, your breath, the energy in your body. There might be something that you had come forward when we were doing that that you want to take some more time with. So if that's the case, make a mental note of that. You might want to practice again this experience of having let it go completely. Let yourself absorb what that would be like. And then take your time. When you're ready, open your eyes.